Welcome to the Southwest Florida Real Estate Update, hosted by the York Group of Downing Fry Realty. Our show will bring you the most up-to-date information on the local real estate market, presented by leading experts in the field.
Welcome to the Southwest Florida Real Estate Update. I'm Morgan York with the York Group of Downing Fry, and today we're joined by our host Jim York and his guest Crystal Kinzel, Collier County Clerk of the Circuit Court.
Thank you, Morgan, for the introduction. Well, Crystal, thank you for coming on the show and giving us the opportunity to interview you here at the courthouse since our studio is closed down because of the virus. So let's go into your background for our viewers that haven't seen the show.
Oh, thanks, Jim. Welcome. Yes, want to welcome you. This is where we work every day. But my background, a little bit, I'm a graduate of George Washington University in Washington, D.C. I have a very diverse background with NASDAQ Inc., Hospital, City of Key West, just some of my prior jobs and experience before coming to Collier County. But I've been here since 1988, and I served first with Sheriff Hunter as Finance Director, and then in 2005 came to the clerk's office to work under Dwight Brock. When he passed away unexpectedly in 2018, I ran for office, and fortunately the taxpayers elected me as clerk, so for the last 2 years I've been clerk. Our duties are primarily clerk to the board, county commissioners, and comptroller. The comptroller role is very important, I think, to the taxpayers. We watch over their funds, actually been called the watchdog of taxpayers' funds as oversight to the Board of County Commissioners. And our other role is clerk to the courts. So we're responsible for all of the evidence, docketing, domestic violence injunction paperwork. We do everything associated with the courtrooms and have clerks in the courtrooms the majority of time. And we have a third function, which is probably closer, near and dearer to some of your audience, and that's our recording function. We're the official record keeper of all the land and use records, deeds, and documentation for property transactions in Collier County. And we actually have records going back to 1923. So when the county started,
So the topic of our show today, we're going to do two shows today. We're going to do a part one and a part two. But the first part, I want to tell our viewers, or have you tell our viewers, how you're dealing with the COVID-19 and how you're helping our residents here in Collier County deal with it and with recordings and et cetera.
Well, thank you. Yes, COVID obviously has taken a toll on our community as it has the whole country, and we had to react very quickly. We are totally prepared and planned for hurricanes because we have those often,
right,
unfortunately, in Florida. But COVID was something different, and face-to-face transactions are a big part of our business. People come to this courthouse annex every day, or they did, and that stopped abruptly. Thank goodness we were able to continue the majority of our business and services because we have created automated processes. So we have e-recording, e-filing for court records and documents. You can pay over the computer online at our website. So we had previously set up a lot of those transactions, but things moving forward that we're going to work on are things like marriage licenses. Those have primarily been face-to-face, come into the office, so we had to come up with different ways to handle those types of transactions during COVID. The courts shut down, jury trials, order of the governor shut down, a lot of the processes, particularly foreclosures. In April, very early in April, the governor put stays on evictions and foreclosures, which I know would be important to your audience, right, I think. And that is just now getting ready to reopen July 1, tomorrow, absent an additional stay, which we still have to the end of today. But so far, it's looking as though we will move forward tomorrow, reopening. But during the last 2 or 3 months, really the last week of March, we had to assess how were we going to continue to do business. There were a lot of precautions that we had to take for our employees and for the public. So we had to immediately get masks available. We had to immediately put some barriers. Some of our offices, cashiering, had protective window barriers, right, but some of our other counter spaces did not. So we had to get some of those available so that we had appropriate protective equipment for our employees and to protect the public when they came in. We had to think about how we would transact business. We actually moved some of our recording staff down behind the cashiering windows until we were able to get this equipment available, because the mad dash and rush was everyone was buying masks, everyone was buying plexiglass.
Right.
You know, Lysol spray was difficult to get for disinfectants. So we've taken a lot of those precautions over the last 2.5 months to keep our staff safe and our customers safe.
We've been talking about the courthouse here. How about your satellite offices? How are you dealing with that?
Well, that's been an interesting, we have gone through some ups and downs in satellites with staff precautionary isolations, testing to make sure, because their exposure out in the community was a little more significant with different areas
Right.
in the community.
Right.
So we've pushed more and more transactions out to those satellites, though, so that the citizens, if in fact we would have to look at an area within the courthouse, we would have those remote locations that would distribute the business. It's also going to be great for us on a permanent basis, as we've always had the satellites, that the community will be able to do business closer to home. They won't have to travel here where parking is limited. They won't have to go through a courthouse entrance process, which is a little more stringent than our satellites. But they are checking at the satellites, asking people to please self-identify any issues, stay home if you are sick. You can spread it at a satellite or here. So we really want to make sure our citizens and staff stay safe even at the satellites. We're reopened. We had relocated the Eagle Creek office to a new building a little further down on 951. If you go to Walmart, you're too far, but it's on the same side of the street as the Walmart on Collier Boulevard, and we've opened that. Most of the satellites now, we've co-located with the tax collector, property appraiser, different branches of the county government, so the citizens will be able to do a lot of business without having to drive here. So we hope that helps them.
I know when we came in the building here, they took your temperature and asked you questions, and you had to wear a mask when you came in, and that's the same as in all the satellite offices.
Right, we are asking that the satellite offices follow those same protocols, just an extra level of precaution.
And are the hours the normal, or have you cut back hours?
No, our hours are the same. We've remained open. The clerk's offices throughout the state were designated as essential services because we do handle land transactions, we handle essential court proceedings, as well as all the financial activity of the county. That goes on. Payroll, those processes, paying invoices to our vendors, all of those have to keep going as long as we can do them. And again, automation really helped us in that area.
And how about people dropping off stuff? I think you were mentioning that.
Dropbox.
Dropbox.
Well, one of the things we did very early on, because we realized a lot of our customers don't use automated services as readily as they might.
Right.
So we got a very inexpensive but secure Dropbox and put it out by security, so that people that really did have paper files and things to file or record, they could drop them off securely, and our employees could then wear gloves and things like that to retrieve those documents, and the processes could keep going. So we started that probably week one. It was one of our immediate solutions when we know that not everyone e-files or e-records.
So let's talk about jury duty. How are you handling that?
That is a significant change in operations. We will be starting jury trials slowly but surely this month. We have had to do everything from recreating the juror summons. Jurors now will have an option to opt out because of COVID considerations, self-reporting either underlying morbidities, some of the same precautions that you would have otherwise. So we've redone the juror summons. When they receive that, they'll have that opportunity as an opt-out if they exhibit any of those, if you are ill, some of those other constraints. So we've reprinted that. We're also working on a video that we hope will be out this weekend that will walk them through all of the precautions that we've taken here in the courthouse. The jury room was a packed room.
That's right, yeah.
We would bring in hundreds of jurors. We have obviously had to work on our physical arrangement and the facilities, as well as proximity to each other. So there will be spatial distancing. We'll ask everyone that they do bring masks, and they will have to come through the protocol at the front of the courthouse. But we're doing everything we can to keep them safe. Even the jury boxes have been spaced. Some of the jurors may have to sit in the galleries to get that spacing, depending on the size of the jury. But we've also worked very closely with the judges, and routinely we would call the large jury pools, split those across the week. The judges now, particularly initially starting up, we will only have a couple of the judges doing essential jury trials to get them moving. We'll see how that works on a test and pilot basis, and then we'll be able to hopefully expand how we're doing it as long as we don't have any hiccups in the process. But we'll be able to call in fewer people, distance them appropriately, get the questionnaires processed for them, and get them to the courtroom still distanced. But it did take a significant change in both facilities and operations, how we handle people now.
Crystal, thank you for coming on the show today, and thank you for doing it, helping our customers and our viewers here learn more about what you're doing for the community with the courthouse. And again, thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Thinking of buying or selling a home in Naples, Marco Island, Bonita, or Estero, Florida? Think of the most experienced York Real Estate Group, associated with the #1 brokerage in Southwest Florida, Downing Fry Realty, which produces yearly real estate transactions of over $1 billion. Jim, Michael, and Morgan make up the York Real Estate Group of Downing Fry Realty, with over $275 million in sales transactions, along with offering over 25 combined years' experience in the local market. The Yorks can offer the experience and trust you need in a realtor. Call them today at 239-273-6727 or visit their website at www.naplesyorkrealestate.com.